Okay, well, Bob here. Today's project, I got myself a K&N intake for squanch. Got the box yesterday. Got it from Extreme Terrain. I'm not going to do a full-blown install video because Extreme Terrain has a pretty good video explaining everything you need to do to get it in. I just figured that I would just go over what I got here. This is exactly the way I found it. Here's these parts look pretty good. It's pretty heavy. I don't know what kind of plastic they call it. Put that right there. There's a piece of foam for the filter. Put that over there. Let's see, there's the top for the filter. Put that over there. There's a bag of goodies. Looks like a couple of zip ties and worm clamps, bolts, assorted crap. Let's see, get that out of the way. Sorry about that. Here's the, well, here's another. Well, that goes from the air filter down to the passenger side turbo. Keeping in mind this is all intake stuff. There's the actual, oh, let me see if I can, there we go. There's the actual filter housing itself. A couple of parts inside. Rubber, oh shit, I can't think of what you call them, but anyway, connecting the pipes together. Those pieces. Put that over there. Okay. And the filter housing. Put that. That's a good spot for that. And let me pick that up. Okay. Got a box of stuff. I don't know what it is yet. And that's it. So let's go over here. Get the cutter. See what we got here without cutting myself. Huh? It's amazing what you can do with one hand and your finger in front of the camera, right? Okay. Oh, it's the filter, of course. Yep. So there's a nice oiled up brand new K&N filter, air filter. Okay, put that right there. Okay. And of course you get the special message thing, and then a K&N sticker, which, except for having squanch on my Bronco, I'm not putting any more stickers on it. So ultimately, gotta take the old filter housing off. I've already got the wires loose. I took this wire loose that was connected to that. Basically, I'm going to, down here at this turbo, I'm going to take the discharge side, unscrew that, loosen it up. Nope. There, now it's in focus. Pop that loose. Let's see, I've got a bolt right here, a bolt right here, and I might not have to, but I might have to take this bolt loose just so I can kind of pull that out of the way. Already slipped this clamp back so I could pop that loose. And then, let's see, for the passenger side turbo, we're replacing this part going down to this, the intake of the turbo. And then for the other turbo, we're replacing this pipe right here. And you can't hardly see it, but it goes underneath of this. And you'll be making a connection right here. And that's the intake. You can't see it obviously because they bury everything. The intake for the driver's side turbo. So that's what we'll be doing today. I'm in no big hurry, so I'll just be diddling around and taking my time. I'll try to splice on. I know I'm going to lose it on this camera. I have to figure out how to splice the two pieces of video together, but after I'm done, I'll try to splice them together so it's all one continuous video. Once I'm done, I'll come back and show you the result. Again, Extreme Terrain already has a good video showing you how to do this, so I don't need to show you. This is just another example, you know, somebody who's never done a job like this before, whether you can do it or not, you know, because it's not really that complicated. It's just remembering how you took it apart so you can put it back together again, right? All right, so that's it. Again, there's the new parts, filter, housing, the lines running to the turbo, the assorted connections for the pipes to connect to each other, and yep, that's about it. So I'll finish this up with the installed version. Okay, so I got it done, and it wasn't a bad install. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, no issues at all putting it together or getting it apart, putting it together, except, boy, I tell you what, this grommet right here where this sensor goes in is a pain in the ass. So I'm going to offer a suggestion so y'all don't end up fighting it like I did, because the first thing I did when I was trying to get in that hole, after this was in place, I was putting this grommet in its hole, and of course it slipped out of my hand and went way down there. So I spent about the next 20 to 30 minutes trying to find it. I ended up having to take the skid plate out from underneath the truck. Yeah, so my suggestion to you guys is, before you're ready to put this in, and I should have thought of it, I mean, that was just a dumb move on my part, put the grommet in before you install this part. Having said that, also this sensor right here, I'm not critiquing anyone else's videos. I'm just letting you know what I didn't see, and I was like, wait a minute, where's this part? So that sensor, you have to take it out of your old filter housing, and it's just like a quarter turn, and it pulls straight out, and it has this little O-ring. That's what seals it when it's in that hole. Now when I went to put the that was another thing. So I installed the grommet, I put this back on, and then I went to push that sensor down in there. First of all, that O-ring, it ain't going to have nothing to do with that grommet. It kept, all it wanted to do was push out, and I realized this is a rubber grommet. This is actually probably sealing better than that little O-ring did. So I just took that O-ring out. Second thing is, when I was trying to push it in there, I pushed the damn grommet all the way through, so I had to take it apart and fish the grommet out from inside the tube. So again, just a word to the wise: before you install this one piece going down to this passenger side turbo, put the grommet in and put that sensor in. Now you see that sensor, again, on the video I had seen with Extreme Terrain, they didn't mention how far to push it down, and in their video they only pushed it down. You could just see the blue O-ring on top. Well, I looked inside again when I was trial and error and had to take it apart and get the fish of the grommet out, and I put it together before I put it back in. The sensor inside is not far enough down until this little tab right here is flat with the grommet. It has to go all the way down. I don't know if it has to face a specific way. I did face it. This little tab will be pointing in this direction, and actually it's like this, and it'll be catching the air passing through instead of being sideways and the air rushing. I don't know if it matters. I honestly don't know. So there's that point. The second point is this bolt right here. Now, again, they don't mention this, and I don't fault them for not mentioning it. But on your old pipe, there's actually, it's not a washer. There's a metal piece that has like a washer top, but the metal goes all the way through it. And you're going to have to knock it out of this one, out of your old pipe, to put it in the new pipe. Because the hole that this goes through is big enough to where if you get carried away, you could actually pull this bolt down into it. You need to put that piece of God, I can't remember what they're called. They're like a it's about that tall, and of course it's a washer on top. Has a flat level area, and it fits into the hole perfect. So you do need to pull it off of the old pipe and put it on this new pipe. Other than that, except for my, trial and error, it bolted on back here to this, I can't never remember what they're called, those damn rubber pieces that connect the pipes. And you can see it right here. They got the bracket that comes with the kit to stabilize these two together. Comes across. That's there. That's back on. All the way down to the turbo. And of course the filter itself, which, like I say, it feels really well made. Well, it better be. It's K&N. I would suggest one thing to K&N, which I think would be nice, is instead of having these Allen head screws, why not put some nice little, what do you call them, thumb screws? Because, I mean, you got to get in there on a fairly regular basis to clean your filter. So just thumb screws would be nice. You could probably find some aftermarket thumb screws somewhere, but that's just something I thought of when I was putting it together. Anyway, it came out really well. I haven't even started it up yet, so let's do that. Ugh. If I shake the camera enough, I'll make everybody sick, right? You know what? I normally always have the key in my pocket, and now I don't. That Bronco's just sitting there looking at me saying, you gotta have a key if you want to start this damn thing. All right, try this again. Turn that off. I don't know if it made any difference in how it sounds. I know the old 5.7 liter Tundra I had, you could really hear it. It sounded like you were opening up a 4-barrel when you got on it. Yeah, not much of a difference as far as sound goes. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Everybody take it easy. Same old thing, thoughts or comments, like or hate. If you got questions about my install, feel free to ask. I'll be doing my very best to answer my own personal experiences with it. And follow if you care to. Y'all take it easy out there.